Morning everyone. So as you can see, it's taking shape. The whole front is nearly finished. I just have to fit the lights both sides, obviously the panel on the front, and I also decided to put this winch on today. Obviously after reconditioning, maybe I'll do it today, I don't know, but I want to make a mount, because obviously the mounts, they will have to weld it to this part of the chassis which I built, and to suit obviously the winch. This section here is about 8 inches, and my winch is supposed to stay inside. I didn't plan to get a 1 inch, and the problem, well, it's not a problem, the difference is they have this kind of section here which is all the solenoids are enclosed in there, so it's much taller than the other ones are supposed to get, because they're supposed to have the solenoids apart inside the cab, inside the car, not on the top of it. So this obviously won't fit inside there, and it will have to be fitted kind of from here, because it will stick out about till there, so you have to be on the front, but it's still within the bumper, so I'm not getting a winch in the front of the bumper like a lot of people do, because I don't like it. Everything has to stay inside. All the rest has been finished. The valve is on, the air filter is on. Most importantly, Greta, she's still with me. She haven't left yet for some reason. She says she hates diesels, but doesn't look to me. However, you've seen all this stuff already. My electrics, yeah, still bought quite because I got no time. I'll do it later on, because I want to test everything if it works, or you have to improve anything. But so far so good. Only left obviously this bit of wiring, which is the LED bar on the top, and I still have to do the relay and the thermostat to start the fans, which are on the top, as you know. But let's see if this thing starts and how it starts, because I've done everything inside pretty much, all the wiring. So let's see. Key on, as a charge light. Alright, let's wait till the glow plugs warm up. And also what we have here is my OLED controller installed with the gearbox on. Say hello. No, you won't say hello. Neutral, put it in drive, first gear, second gear, and so on. I'm gonna rev it because obviously engine is cold, not gonna rev it. I'll show you the stuff. So, whoa, what's that? I don't know what I've done. Manual shift. I didn't set the joystick up, so it's only this one. Go right, manual, third. Oh. You can actually hear the engine changing. Fifth. TPS. Temp. Everything works. So far so good. Live data, as your RPM, speed and TPS and boost and all the stuff. I wonder if I don't go on this stuff because I already set it up. I don't want to mess with this stuff. I need to learn how it works. Lights, everything works. Even my battery life, I think, with the zip tie, everything works. So yeah, quite happy so far. There you go. That's how you turn off. There you go. So So far so good. As you know, I can't spend too much time on this thing, so I'm trying to make the best of the time I have available. Today I have to finish to wire up the fans, which they up here with the radiator, and the plan is to finish that wiring, which shouldn't take long, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, including the thermostat sensor and the relay and the power and the earth and all the stuff. Do it as tidy as I can with my great electrical skills, which are none. I'm gonna do the mount for the winch, and then I'm gonna do prop shafts, because once I have the prop shafts, this thing can actually move. Exciting. And I think tomorrow, luckily my supplier from stainless said we closed, but I do exception and I bring you some stainless. So we're gonna have my 3-inch 3/16 stainless to do the exhaust, at least a downpipe, so I can drive this thing. So yeah, let's go forward. There we go, the mounts are in place, the basic ones. Obviously we need some kind of reinforcement, like a triangle from here to there, roughly, I think. They go underneath there, as you can see, welded all around, so it's not flat. It takes obviously welding from this to this, and then from all the surface from underneath of this. It's quite strong. This is 3 mm thick wool. Now there are two ways to mount this winch. You can either drill the holes here for the bolts and a bigger hole in there to obviously put the bolt through and the socket, so you tied it. But this way the winch will be held only from this surface, from this part. Now if you drill the hole all the way through, you can put one single bolt from there to there, but what happens when you're gonna obviously tie it up, this is gonna squeeze and the bolts are gonna be not always tight as you want to. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna drill a bigger hole inside a tube, a metal tube, which is gonna be all the way through from here to there, welded up on this side and this side, and then we use obviously we bolt it through and nothing is gonna squish this. It's probably gonna show you because it's easier to show you than explain. Oh yes, another thing, if you wonder why I have this bar welded to these bits, because obviously when you chop them off, when you put them on, they will not be completely straight, flat in the same surface. So I weld them to this to keep them completely flat, because obviously if this section it will differ than this, you're gonna twist the winch, and because it's solid mounted you want to avoid that. This is why I made this kind of like a, let's call it a jig or whatever, to keep this completely straight when you weld them. So I'm not gonna remove it and they stay true one to another, and that's quite important on this kind of winch. And these are the reinforcements, both sides, and they both going under, so you got plenty of surface of welding and contact and whatever you want to call it. Now see both sides. Now you may think this is a bit of exaggeration, a bit too much, etc, but let me tell you something. I've seen so many times people don't pay enough attention when to put plates or support for the winches. I have kind of a rule, right, when making mounts for the winches and the recovery points as well. Each of them has to be as strong. Let's imagine you have one recovery point or the winch, rope, whatever. From each single point of this, you hook it up with a crane and you lift the whole car up in the air. Not only, and then you bloody shake it. Yeah, imagine this like a toy, shake it. Will you be confident in the mounts you make for your winch or your recovery points? No, if you're not, reinforce it, make it stronger, make it better. Because this is all good and fun, everyone plays, everyone's having good fun until something goes wrong. And when stuff goes wrong, when you need this stuff, again, recovery points, you need them when you're in the middle of shit. Sometimes not much, sometimes you're in a dip shit. Same for the winch, sometimes you just have to pull yourself from the puddle because your car is shit. Alright, maybe not, but sometimes you have to get yourself out of really shitty situation, you know, deep hole, packed with mud, and it glows your car from underneath, and you packed your big tires and everything. The car is heavy loaded, maybe trailer on the back as well, so you really have to pull with the snatch block and everything. You put some force into that. If something is gonna let go, apply the rope, your recovery point on your winch mounts and everything, that thing is gonna shoot, and this is when shit goes real and people get hurt. And this shit actually real. I mean, it happens. I mean, watch all the recovery or 4x4 recovery accidents. Watch them on YouTube, and you see what I mean. So make them strong. Don't save any weight. Make it as strong as possible. You got to be confident in these things. So, you know, safety first. Plus, once you make it strong enough, you never have to get back to it. You know it's good. Someone's gonna say, is it strong enough? Yes, it is strong enough. And this is what it counts. Because at the end of the story, when you're going, especially this, when I'm gonna have fun off-road, it's not really off-road car, it's off-road capable, it's expedition car. If I'm in the middle of the shit, and I'm gonna be kids around, whatever, I'm not worried about something breaking. You know, this is what it's all about. Competition car, fuck it. If you broke it, put it back on the trailer, back home. In this case, no, you're on your own. You mate maybe, but there's no recovery. There's no one is gonna tow you back. You're on your own, so it has to be nice and strong. Yeah, good. Let's go forward. Oh, another thing. I supposed to make this hose quite big and insert the tubes. Turns out I don't have any tubes of that section. So for now I'm just gonna drill the normal holes just to get the bolt through and bolt the winch up the exact way I told you not to do. But this is only because, again, this is crazy times. I can't get any tubes, any material at the moment, so I'm gonna do it for now. But this is easy fixable, because once everything, hopefully soon, will get back to normal, I order my stuff, I order my tubes and material, and just get the winch off, make those holes bigger, insert the tube, weld them up, and put everything back together. So it's gonna be about an hour job, so not big issue for now. Alright, let's drill those holes. Done, finished, welded, painted, still wet. This is how it looks like underneath. Nice big surface on the welding. There you go. And now we have to put this bastard on, but before we're gonna put it on, we have to take it apart, remove that shit rope, because that's steel rope. I don't use them anymore because they're dangerous. Obviously I don't have the time to do it now, so probably I'm not gonna put it on now. But the important thing is we have the mounts, so all it takes is just recondition this and then remove the front bumper when the time comes, put it on, get the cables through, and do it. And I also accidentally spray my face as well. I just cleaned myself, it was all black here. All accidentally. This is like my daughter says when she breaks something. Daddy, I accidentally snapped this. Yesterday she clearly broke something because she has a very short temper, like I used to be when I was a kid. And I say, honey, what happened there? Oh, Daddy, I'm sorry, I just accidentally broke it. How accidentally? You just twisted something to the point it breaks. That was an accident? Yes, Daddy, it was an accident. So I accidentally sprayed my head. That was a proper accident. However, so change of plans. I don't think I'm gonna wire the fans today. What I wanna do prop shafts. So the front prop shaft has to be shorter, and the rear prop shaft has to be longer. So I think I'm gonna do this today, because this way I can actually move this thing. So I can actually finally tidy up all the stuff there, all this crap over there, you know, the tube or the loads of crap underneath there. I wanna have it moving. I wanna see the wheels spinning and tidy up all this mess. And tomorrow we start from fresh workshop, no mess over here, and we're gonna do a downpipe and part of the exhaust maybe. I'm not gonna do the whole exhaust because we have not enough time, plus I don't have a silencer, but at least a downpipe, so I actually drive it kind of legal-ish. So let's go forward. But I think for now I'm gonna take a break and eat something because it's lunchtime. Well, you got to stay healthy, right? Waste gauge, fuel pumps, turbos, manifolds, toys, adapter plates, and lunch. There we go. And a quick look on how it look with the winch on. Obviously, like I said, the winch has to be fully refurbished, etc, etc, so it's not gonna be as ugly as it is now, but that's a job for another day. Let's do this prop shaft. Okay, so this is how the winch mount looks from underneath. Doesn't stick out much, but still quite a bit of surface on where you weld them up, so not too bad. But that's not the thing. We have the front prop shaft done. It was very simple actually, because I already had, obviously this is a hybrid one. This is a Nissan Patrol front shaft, and it goes into the Jeep double cardan shaft on the back. So I already had like a machine tubed sliding inside, so I had to do just chop this bit here, slide it out, remove about 11 centimeters, 110 mil, and slide it back in and weld it up. So very simple. On the back it was very simple thing, because this tube was already in here. All I had to just do to this, just to remove after the weld, just cut it after the weld, slide it out. This tube, I think, it goes up to here, so it's plenty of length to keep it central. Just weld it all around, and that's it. I don't really care about this shaft because it has to be rebuilt. You see this thing here, this is the central bearing. It doesn't have any rubber in between, which works perfectly good, but it transmits all the vibrations, all the mechanical noise straight to the body. So as I said before in the previous videos, I have a massive insulation, noise insulation and heat insulation on the floor. But this, because it's solid mounted on the chassis, it still transmits some noise from the transmission, and I don't like it. So obviously I'm not going to do it now. This is completely functional, I can live with this. But later on I want to put it on four big bushings. You know, I want to isolate that noise from the chassis. Obviously I have to sort this out, and the cable for the which is this one here, sorry, cable here for the four-wheel drive. Paint this stuff, protect it, because obviously now it's bare metal and won't survive for long. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and yeah, obviously my gearbox, as you can see there, leaks oil. There you go, there you go. And usually they leak from that socket. I don't know if you can see it from that socket. No, you can't. If I can see it, there you go, from that socket there. There is an internal O-ring inside the socket, but I think you have to do it from inside the gearbox, which I want to do it anyway, because, you know, I want to change the oil and the filter and remove that O-ring, because then the oil goes onto the inside the plug itself. It may cause problems, maybe, that's what I heard. However, it leaks oil very little. It drops maybe 5-6 drops per day, but you know, it's a freshly built stuff. I don't want that stuff, so I'm just gonna change the oil. Tomorrow I had a good confirmation. Tomorrow my friend who's gonna bring me some stainless is gonna be here in the morning, so I'm pretty confident I can do the downpipe tomorrow, maybe just after lunchtime. And if I have time, I will finish the front or recondition the winch. It wasn't planned, but if I manage to do the downpipe tomorrow fairly quick, I would like to recondition, and then obviously I can see if it works, because you know, it may actually not work. I want to see what's going on inside. But if I can manage to recondition it and it still works, paint it and grease it, blah blah, do all the stuff that I'm supposed to do, I would like to put it on. But we'll see tomorrow. Good morning. Another day, last day to work on this thing this week. I don't know about you, but I want to see this thing inside, if you can save it. if we could save it, I get a rope out and put it in the chassis. So let's see. Well, after a bit of fighting with these bolts, they were all nearly seized. One broken inside, this one here. Where is it? There you go, you can see it. Oh, no, you can't. There's one broken inside, I think it's... Well, one of them, fuck it. However, I got the gearbox off. I can tell you it stinks proper. And yeah, you can tell this thing was not serviced since probably new. So it's supposed to be the grease. There you go, solid. All right, so not even trying to put some power on this thing. Just strip it down, remove it, get the workshop to stink as hell, and take this thing in pieces. Get this off, so we got the solenoids inside. We inspect them if they work, clean them. Maybe we will, because it looks like nice and sealed. And then the motor as well. So stay tuned. So solenoids actually they look fairly alright. There's a bit of anodization, oxidation, whatever you want to call it, on this clamp over here, but don't look that bad. And overall, it looks good. Even the wires, they're not burnt out. It looks okay. Solid brass bars between. I think this should be alright. They should work. But on the other side, on this side, look at it. We get a fair amount of rust on the drum. So it was a good thing we didn't try to start it. I don't think we would anyway. So there you go. To get it apart and clean it proper. Hopefully we can save this baby. And once we disconnected all these wires here, which is this goes back there, this goes here, and this one goes on this one. Then an earth there, but this earth was very bad. This is the bolt. It's completely rusted. You can see it. So could be an issue. So now obviously we can already slide the positive, which was from here, was going through this rubber there, and then now we can just, once you remove these two bolts on the bottom, you can slide the whole solenoids off. I'm gonna put the phone down because obviously I need to pass these wires through that rubber there. But then once I remove this, I can actually remove this old steel rope, because it's just make it heavy. Plus, even if the motor starts, works, I can't test it obviously with this attached because it's just there and gonna rip everything off. Plus I want to get rid of it anyway. And again, I have to clean this drum completely from inside, on this side here, probably inside there as well, because obviously this is all steel, and you can see this is completely rusted. So it's proper cleaning. Hopefully I can save it. I got it in pieces, the drum. It looks bad, but I think it's should be able to solve it. Even this bolt here came out. It's a bit rusted, but I don't have to chop it off. The drum should be kind of alright-ish. The guide is fairly much there. This doesn't look so bad. However, look at this. So yeah, I'm not sure. Jesus Christ. This is where the earth is. So yeah, let's take this apart, see what's inside. This is what came up from it. All of this, including this, all of this crap came up from this cover and it was sitting there. However, those brushes, they don't look bad, they all move. These wires, they're quite black, but it doesn't seem that it shouldn't work, you know. The only problem now is this bearing, because obviously this is the shaft sitting in this bearing, and I'm not sure why it's offset this way, why it's not in the middle. I guess gonna find out. I have to put some WD-40 maybe, because obviously I have to remove this shaft from inside of the bearing, and this looks seized. I mean, the bearing moves. Let me show you. I did unseize it a little bit. Let me just grab something to move the shaft. You see, it moves slowly. I don't want to force it because obviously the brushes they're still on, so I don't want to do any more damage than it is already done. Yeah, I'm gonna put some WD-40 on this. Hopefully we get loose. If not, the bearing will probably come off from the housing. But I have to be very gentle not to break this thing. So WD-40 everywhere. Leave it there for 10-15 minutes. Come back and we'll see what happens. Alright, so in between all this mess, this rubbish that came up, I found the problem. I think the motor is alright. The brushes, they're still right. I mean, all this contact, yes, it's burned out, but it's not too bad. Come on, focus. But you can see the bearing has seized on this. And you can see all this. Come on, focus. What's going on? See all this plastic around the bearing. Now, that is actually, if you can see inside there, there you go. All that bearing housing inside there is burned out. All the plastic crap, which caused obviously the bearing seized, spun inside there, cooked the plastic, and then obviously seized. So that is quite strange, to be honest. I feel they just someone just, I don't know, overheated or something, because the brushes, they look very healthy. This surface here, usually you can tell a difference, I'll show you, between this and the edge, because the brushes, they're not staying on the edge, they're just inside, but there's nearly no lip, no difference, no inside, no outside. So this makes me think this motor actually don't have many hours of work. It's just been bloody abandoned in someone's garden. Because again, maybe they just use it the first time they use it, they just abuse it massively, and it actually says on the winch that you shouldn't use it for more than 5-10 minutes because it overheats. Give it a rest and then use it again. So I need one of these. Same as a plastic. If this wasn't plastic, it wouldn't be a problem. It is a plastic, so I need a replacement of this, or just the whole entire motor, which kind of a shame because it all looks okay. It's dirty and it's a bit of rust and corrosion, which is easily to clean, and all in overall, it looks good. All the cutting on the wires is still there intact, you know. So I think this could be saved if I can find a replacement for this. I try I send an email to Warn, see if they have a replacement, see if they come back to me. I think the new motor is about a couple £100 from Warn. I don't know if there is another replacement I can put on. Probably. I have to do some research. Well, for now I can just leave it on. I could actually take this apart and clean it, but I know it's in good shape. It's just needs cleaning. Solenoids, they're looking good, so I don't think there's any problem with that. And I think I'm gonna try to save it if I find the parts. All I need again is this, let's call it a bearing carrier or whatever it is. If I got this, then clean everything and put it back together. I'm gonna get a box, put everything in a box and see when they come back to me with the parts, how much they cost, if they're available or not. And again, yes, if I can find those parts, I'm just gonna rebuild it. Why not? It was mega cheap, and yeah, it's a good deal. But if I can't find the parts, there's no point to do it. To be honest, I've done a little mistake. I think I should have done this. I mean, check it if it's good winch, if I can save it or not first, before making these mounts. Because if I have to buy a new winch, a newer one with the external solenoids, it may have been fitted inside there, maybe like a bit closer. But to be honest, I don't mind in any way, because even if I have to fit it on this just a bit forward, it's still just behind the bumper, which that's what I wanted. And then, to be honest, now I really want this winch to work, so hopefully they're gonna send me some good news and they have the replacement parts available. So this morning, it's very early because I turned up early this morning, so I've still got time to do the van. Finish it off. We got the prop shafts, as you've seen. The front, I can put the lights back on. I can show the wiring for the light bar, and I'm gonna bring a wire up to the top to the fans, and I'm gonna put the thermostat there, it's a thermostat sensor and everything, so we have fans functioning. And as soon as I got this out of the ramp, because obviously the van will not fit underneath of this, as soon as I got this out of the ramp, I can actually get the van out on the road and test it, which I can't wait. But yeah, this will have to be probably pushed out, get the van out, and this back on the ramp. Maybe we swap the ramps. So let's go forward. It's nearly there. Today is going to be finished. Look what has just arrived. .316 3-inch stainless, 3 bends and 2 meters of straight. Happy days. Today is the downpipe and part of the exhaust day. I think I can still keep the front panel on. I can pretty much put my hand over here and reach the back and work on it. All the rest is gonna be from underneath. So nice. Once we got the exhaust, at least a downpipe, I can actually use this thing again. So let's crack on. Yeah, this is the reason why the van isn't finished. I know, I'm supposed to do downpipe and exhaust, but the very moment I put the pause on recording the video, wheels and tires arrived for this. I was like, you know what, fuck it, what it takes, come on. Just put the tires on the wheels, balance them on, and put them on. I never worked on the MR2 before, and I realized these tires, these wheels, they're a little bit too big to fit in this little car, so it took much longer than 5 minutes to put them on. I had to remove the whole front and work on the chassis a little bit, and wheels, they had to be moved a little bit with the bit of hammering persuasion to make them turn and all the stuff, because you have to put the fenders. However, it took me the rest of the day, so I haven't done the exhaust on the van. It's gonna be done next week in a couple of afternoons, because next week I have to crack on the Volkswagen T2 1.9 conversion I use, so I don't really have more time to work on the van, apart obviously on a few hours per afternoon. So next week the exhaust is gonna be there 100%. And yeah, and the reason why I can't work on it today and on Mondays and on Saturdays and on Sundays, yeah, I'll show you. And yep, this is why I can't work on my van today or tomorrow or Sunday or Monday, because many of you don't know I have 2 jobs now. When I needed a change, I decided to become a lorry driver. Don't ask me why, because this is not the moment. It's gonna take a while. I'm pretty sure no one really cares about why of this change, etc. If you do, if you want the why, then ask me. I'll put another video explaining why, etc, etc. But however, yes, I drive a brand new Volvo. It's a gas one, and I pull double deckers, fridges, so we're transporting food, which is kind of important right now, because you can see lack of food on the shelves, etc, etc. So yeah, this is why. I'm having great fun on doing this. I absolutely love this job, absolutely love it. I would not change it. I thought I'm gonna do it only for a few months, but it's been nearly a year now, and I don't want to get rid of it. I want to keep both jobs, so half time in the workshop, half time driving lorries. So I guess I'll see you next week on Tuesday. And one last thing before I upload this video. Now obviously you know me from doing turbo systems, race cars and all that stuff. Shut up, Shirley, I know where I'm going. So you know me for doing this turbo systems, you know, custom stuff, race cars, blah blah, and now I'm doing my van obviously. Like I said, I needed some time to have a rest, slow down in the workshop, only do the stuff that I enjoy doing. At the moment obviously I decided to change that engine in my van, which makes me extremely happy to be able to do it on my own time and not being pushed by customers, etc, etc. However, this doesn't mean it's gonna be boring as it was so far with the van, because I know the van is not really, you know, there's not really much going on with it, apart obviously different engine is being 4-wheel drive, vivaro, etc, etc. However, the next thing I'm gonna do now is that Volkswagen T2 1.9 conversion with the customer. In the meantime, or actually just after, I would really have to finish my S14. I got all the parts, nearly all the parts. I'm gonna make a video on that one, a series or whatever. And then just after that, because it's gonna really take short amount of time to finish it, because it's nearly finished. There's not much to be done to it. Transmission, everything is there. All the bits to put it together are there. So, but after that, me and a friend of mine, which you may find out who it is or may not, and you're gonna find out soon, we're gonna work on something crazy, and 2 cars that you're not gonna expect. But yeah, this is exciting, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good and fun. Mine is gonna be different, very different. His one as well. His one is going to be much faster. Mine, because it's a daily, but it's going to be crazy as well. So stay tuned. Yeah, I think soon, a couple of months, and everything's going to be even more exciting. So see you soon.